I'm Keith Breitbach, and welcome to Community Chat on 103.1 KSCW. Today, we're talking all things Sun City West Posse. This local volunteer organization patrols Sun City West 365 days a year in 3 shifts from 5 a.m. till midnight with how many patrol cars? 4 to 5 patrol cars
That's right.
on the street each shift, helping provide safety, visibility, and peace of mind across the community. Joining us today is Commander of the Sun City West Posse, Carolyn Patterson, and Francesca Tropea. Fantastic. Welcome to the studio, and we look forward to a fun and interesting, informative conversation about the Sun City West Posse. Commander, tell us, there are a lot of new people to the community. Maybe they're seeing the vehicles out in patrol. Give us an idea of what the Sun City Posse provides for the community.
All right. First of all, the Sun City West Posses are a group of volunteers, as you mentioned, and there's about 160 of us. 90 of us do patrolling, and our primary mission is to help keep the community safe by being the eyes and ears for MCSO, the Sheriff's Office. So what we do is we patrol the streets. We make sure that we look for things that are out of the ordinary. If there's something that looks strange, it probably is. So we will go and investigate those kind of things. But I'm really thankful to all the people in Sun City West because it's a great group of individuals. The residents are fabulous. And we love it when you actually wave at us when we wave at you.
And there are so many aspects that you touch on the lives here, maybe even behind the scenes that most people aren't even aware of. And it's really one of the foundations and the cornerstones of that leads me to you, Francesca, and what you're in the process of putting together. It's kind of collecting the information of the people who live here so we can be able to respond. Do you want to talk a little bit about what the project that you're currently engaged in, Francesca?
Right. This project is Special Mission number 9 Bravo, the resident data. The reason we started this project is because when patrol goes out and there's no key holder name nor an emergency contact on file for the resident, it becomes difficult for our patrol to help the residents. So the dispatch office makes a copy. We have an extensive file on each of the residents who's residing in the homes. When there's an incident, say for instance, there's a lot of snowbirds here and residents leave for 5 or 6 months or maybe even longer, and there's no buddy at home, and there's a water leak outside, or sometimes their garage door opens, and also medical assist. Even when they're home, there's medical assist calls. And if the patrol has nobody to call, it becomes difficult. And although there are, PORA contains a list of key holders in their house watchers, so to speak. And residents that leave the valley, leave their homes for 6 months, should have a house watcher that goes into the house. The posse cannot go into the house. So that's why the importance of having a key holder name or an emergency contact is very, very important.
So that's what you're doing. You're building this database. You called me a couple of weeks ago. That's why I was like, hey, come on the radio show. Let's talk about this so we can get the word out. Building a database, people's names, their contact, their backup contact information. So if the garage door is left open, you have somebody else to call if you can't get a hold of the homeowner directly.
Correct.
So, Commander, tell us a little bit about that. What's your vision for that program, and how's it supposed to work?
So my vision for the program is just so that we have the information that we can contact the individual as quickly as possible, so we get help as quickly as possible. We have had situations where our database was more up to date than even MCSO. We were able to get contacts before MCSO and actually give them contact information. It's not that we want to do a one-up on anybody. We just want to help. We've had, excuse me, situations where there was no key holder and the person was down and fire had to break down their door in order to get to them. The good news, we got to them timely. The bad news, it cost over $400 to fix it. So we're trying to get around some of that kind of stuff for the individuals that live in the community.
Thinking ahead.
Yeah.
And, when you called me a couple of weeks ago, of course, you sounded so friendly, Francesca, that I gave you all my information, but I think it raises a good question and something that we have to be aware of, especially in a community like Sun City West,
Yes.
some older residents, vulnerable,
Yeah.
and people tend to, maybe want to take advantage of that. If you called, what should people be alerted to? How do we know it's you with the posse and not somebody else? What are the safeguards behind protecting people's information also?
Well, we make all the calls from the posse office, which is the main number. If people have the posse number in their phones, their cell phones I'm talking about now, it's great because the display will indicate Sheriff Posse. And it makes it easier to talk to them. When they don't have us in their phones, it's some are very leery to talk to us. Most people on a whole will, after I explain the reason for my call, they're very happy to talk to me, just like you were. And I do have a team of 5 volunteers that help me do this. This is an enormous job. There's thousands of records that don't have the data. And so it's an ongoing volunteer job.
And that is a great reminder. Also, we have these phones, these smartphones. Mine's not so smart, but it's the phone number. What number should we have in our phones? So it does come on as the Sun City Posse.
The posse number is 623-584-5808.
Okay,
And-
623-584-5808. I'm glad that you got that right off the top of your head.
Oh, yes, I do. I tell people that a lot. And so those calls come into the main reception desk and they will transfer it to my extension. And
this is Community Chat, 103.1 KSCW. I'm Keith Breitbach. In the studio today, we are talking to Commander Carolyn Patterson of the Sun City West Posse and Francesca Tropea,
Yeah.
heading up this really important endeavor to keep the community safe and secure.
Let me just add something, if I might. If for the listeners on the radio here, if you receive a phone call and you don't recognize that number, and even if you do recognize that number, if you're hesitant, just let it go to voicemail. Because then that way you have an opportunity to make that connection. In today's environment, we have so many scams that are out there, and the posse does not want you to feel like you're under a scam with us. We're trying to help you. And so please do not hesitate to, even if you're talking to Francesca or one of her team, if you don't feel comfortable, just let them know. I don't feel comfortable. I will call you back. And then use that 623-584-5808 number.
And we'll give that number out again before as we wrap up the program today so people can write that down and remember it. But it's also another really great reminder of 501c3 volunteer organization. It takes a lot of hands, a lot of volunteer hours to make this posse run and to keep the community safe and secure. Tell us a little bit about that. How does somebody get involved? When can they get involved? What does that require?
Well, it's actually quite simple. If you come in, give us a call, come in and talk to us, we can get you through the recruiting process very quickly. What we like to do at first is give you a tour of the building, talk to you about what we do, and maybe even if you want to take you on a courtesy ride where you ride in one of our sheriff cars throughout the city to see what it is that we do. Once we talk with you and find out what you're interested in, we can usually find something. If you don't want to patrol, you might be really good at doing some other telephone work or data work or something, and we can find those jobs for you. Last year, our volunteers put in over 60,000 volunteer hours. So, and you know what? They all do it with a smile. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Francesca, how did you find yourself at the posse?
Well, I lived here a long time, and I thought it was time to give back. So I volunteered for receptionist. That was my first introduction to the posse. That seemed pretty easy at first, but you know what? The receptionist desk is probably the most difficult.
Well, don't scare anybody
No,
away.
no,
Okay. Yeah.
But you learn as you go along. Then, as I was getting my feet wet with the posse, there were other tasks. There's many, many other tasks. I volunteered to help the treasurer input our donations. We're strictly on a donation basis. And so, because I have experience with Excel, I volunteered.
Mhm.
I do that twice a year and help the treasurer do that. I help with the data entry. All the data that I get from this Special Mission 9, I enter the data, try to get it as correct as possible. And our the phone numbers have to be correct, and as much information that I can put down on the key holder and the emergency contacts.
So no doubt a rewarding contribution. And
It
I think,
is.
Commander, I heard you at the torch meeting last fall. Did you start off as a dispatcher? You thought that would be fun, and here you are as a
I did.
commander?
I was going to be a dispatcher. I went into the training and I said, you know what? I could patrol. So I did patrolling, I did dispatching, and gradually here I am as commander.
And you've been involved for how
About
long?
6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
And in that time, you know pretty much, you've probably, sounds like you may have done almost every job on the
I
posse.
do, yeah. I've learned quite a few jobs.
And what would you tell somebody listening? They may be considering a volunteer opportunity. They're looking to kind of contribute their time, talent, and energy to something here in Sun City West. Why the posse?
Well, the posse is one organization that you truly can give back to and see results very quickly. And one, don't think that it's a full-time job. It's not. It's like 1 day a week, and it could be 4 hours to 7 hours a day. And it's just something that is very heartwarming when you know that you help somebody. So,
And if you're not able to contribute your time, talent, and energy, you could donate money. I saw on the website, there's a link. Tell me a little bit about what somebody kind of contribution or how they would make a donation to the organization, where that
Yeah.
money, how that money would be spent.
okay. An individual can donate through either credit card, check, cash, whatever. But what it's used for is the majority of the money that we receive actually goes for gas and the vehicles. We are very close on our budget all the time. We never go over the budget, and we're actually quite thrifty. If you've been at a couple of our general meetings lately, they keep telling us, well, we're under the expenses are down. The expenses are down. So we watch it very, very closely so that we don't go over budget, because the people of Sun City West are so warm and so nice to us in the amounts that they give us. But you can go online, and it's very easy. Just you go online and you can use your credit card online. So
A worthy cause. So I encourage people to go online and donate
Mhm.
also. You had a volunteer meeting not too long ago in terms of
Mhm.
recruitment.
yes.
You said that went pretty well. You'll probably do another one in the fall. Tell us a little bit about what your needs are and
Okay.
what that will look like. So if somebody's
Okay.
listening now, they're leaving for the summer, they can get involved in the fall.
Okay. We did have a a recruiting event at the beginning of this month, and it was quite successful. Even MCSO came with lots of information for people who might be interested in going into that particular branch of the Sun City West Posses. So we have a new recruiting department, a bunch of their younger individuals who have some very great ideas, and we're reaching out to all of the clubs, all the community, and just letting them know what we do. In the fall, we'll have a larger event, and at that event, we'll probably bring in some of the MCSO things like the dogs, the canine unit, and some of the other things that are real special to people, even the drones, so that people can see what it is we are using to help with the community. So
We're almost out of time. Is there anything else you want to share with us today that people should be made aware of regarding the posse?
If when I call residents and they're reluctant to talk to us, and I leave a lot of messages on their answer phones. Hopefully, residents are listening to their voicemails. But I always ask them to either they could call us back, or they could come into the office and give us that information in person.
Where's the office located?
20450 North Stardust Boulevard.
It just rolls right off your. Let me give that number out again too. Put this in your phone, log it in, so when they call, it's the posse. 623-584-5808.
Yes.
Commander, did you have anything else to add?
No, just a big thank you to all the community.
All right. Our thanks to Commander Carolyn Patterson and Francesca Tropea for joining us today from the Sun City West Posse. The Sun City West Posse is a volunteer-driven part of what helps keep this community informed, supported, and watched over. And right now, they need volunteers. To learn more, get involved, or make a donation, visit scwposse.org. I'm Keith Breitbach, and this has been Community Chat on 103.1 KSCW. Thanks for listening.